And they will be playing at Scotland. That's right, Scotland's in the house, definitely. That's on court number 2.
What's going on? I get catch? I get catch? Oh God, really? You were not trying to touch me. Oh God. That's nice one. So what we doing? In the back here, when them ball come out, we went to it and done them.
All right, on court number 1, we have Team Vanuatu versus Team Cayman Islands.
She will, when the ball come out, she will put them. Yeah. Some people just show up to them. Anyway, I think after them on
So are you ready for some volleyball? Make some noise! I don't know, I think I'm a little deaf on the right hand side. Let's try it one more time. And I'm even pointing on my left side. That's terrible. So are you ready for volleyball? Make some noise! Yes, it's a beautiful day. It was a hot morning, but we pushed through. And of course the heavens opened up. We had a little drizzle, so it's going to be all fine. It's beautiful Black Rock overseeing Turtle Beach. Beautiful scenery. Want to say good afternoon to our friends from the Tobago Tourism Authority. Tobago Beyond is always on that, so you can get whatever souvenirs and information you want to know over there. Of course, the matches will be broadcast via Yellow TV, so you can check it out on the official Trinbago2023 pages, the official Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee pages, or your Commonwealth Games Federation pages. So we just have about 2 minutes to go. On court number 1, you can see Team Trinidad and Tobago in the white with the fancy tropical pants. That's what we're talking about, Caribbean style. And of course Sri Lanka in mauve and the yellow. Team Australia will be playing yellow, in the green tops, yellow pants, and Team South Africa in the yellow tops, green pants. Now these matches are first to 21. It's a best out of 2 format. So the first to 21 and best out of 2, that's how we will be doing it. Want to say good afternoon to the media who is here, and of course our friends watching online. All right, so we're gonna get this party started. So we're gonna get this party started, and I'm powered by Charter Sounds. I think I see the team from New Zealand walking on in. Good afternoon to New Zealand. Welcome to Tobago. And the umpires are ready. The first matches are on the way. And it's game time. Game time is always show time. Remember, this is the home of volleyball. next week till the end of the games, where we will culminate with a grand closing ceremony right here. Well, basically at pitch point. And we have a first point. First point, Sri Lanka. I want to say good afternoon to the secretaries of the Tobago House of Assembly, one of the main sponsors of the Commonwealth Youth Games, Trinbago2023. Welcome to all our Commonwealth officiates as well. Check it out. There's another point to Sri Lanka. Remember, it's the Commonwealth Games. is halfway through the first set. Remember, it's the first to 21 points. The best of 2 matches. Best 2 out of 3, sorry. Tobago. We're still in the first set.
Trinidad and Tobago, the home team in action here at the Commonwealth Youth Games 2023, but facing an uphill battle against Sri Lanka in their opening game. First appearance of the Trinidad and Tobago team in the competition. The women's team will take on Bermuda later on today here at the Holland Beach Sports Arena. At the moment, it's tied up at 18 apiece. Trinidad and Tobago just drawing ahead here by 1 point against the Sri Lankans. A lot of support for the Trinidad and Tobago team, as you would expect here in Black Rock. Trinidad and Tobago represented by Jerome Morrison and Jarif Miguel. Both of them, just like the two players on the women's team, are from Mbakade in San Fernando, that's in Trinidad. So Trinidad and Tobago just 1 point away from taking the first set, which certainly has been a tight first set here for Trinidad and Tobago against the Sri Lankans. Sri Lanka with the serve, however. And there it is. Jarif Miguel putting the exclamation point on it. And Trinidad and Tobago men taking the first set, 21-19. And as we've seen so far, only one team that has won the first set has not completed victory. So TNT starting brilliantly against Sri Lanka here and getting the first set 21-19. So this is happening on court 1 in the men's competition. Just to remind you, earlier today in the men's competition, we've had a couple of matches already. England going under to Canada in an exciting 3-setter. England going under in the first set 21-12 for recovering to win the second set 21-19. They had a couple of match points before Canada closed the door on them 19-17 in the deciding third set. In the other men's game, which was due to take place earlier today, the Gambia, that is the team from Africa, never showed up, and New Zealand won by default. Certainly still no word on the Gambia team, and some of the word coming true is that the Gambia team have actually not even checked in at the hotel in Tobago. So still a cloud hanging over this particular group with the Gambia not showing up. Gambia, St. Lucia and New Zealand grouped in this particular pool. So we're just about ready for the start of game 4 here. Sri Lanka versus Trinidad and Tobago. At the other court, it is Australia taking on South Africa in that one.
Trinidad and Tobago is off to set number 2. So Australia took the first set, and the second set is on the way.
Bright start for Trinidad and Tobago in the second set here. And just to update you what's happening on court 2, Australia have taken the first set against South Africa, and the team of Mitchell Croft and Jeff Rocker Graham have taken the first one. And so Australia certainly one of the teams expected to be up there on the medal podium. They were bronze medalists the last time in 2017 when Mark Williams and James Tacken got there. Trinidad and Tobago not on the podium yet at beach volleyball at the Commonwealth Youth Games, and they certainly will be hoping to do that this time round. That was Jerome Morrison with the shot that finds the sand here at Corland Bay, and he will be the next to serve here. Actually, the decision has gone against Trinidad and Tobago. Initially, it was Morrison that was shaping up to serve. And again, nice spike there from Jarif Miguel, the 16-year-old national youth team player. Certainly one of the top under-18 players and under-23 players in Trinidad and Tobago. Has also been around the senior team for TNT. That one just missing the line. Sri Lanka a bit unlucky there not to get that point. TNT certainly not taking advantage of some good early play. So at the changeover, it is Sri Lanka ahead by 4-3. And if Trinidad and Tobago felt that their opponents from Sri Lanka would be pushovers, certainly hasn't turned out to be that way. They're physical, they're athletic, and they are full of pride in the way they've battled here. That's in. And again, that's Jarif Miguel there finding the corner. He continues to impress in this game. Well, the poke just in front of the net has brought another point here for the Sri Lankans. Certainly more well known for their cricket teams. They were 1996 World Cup champions. They'd hoped to become, that's in cricket that is, but they'd hoped to also advance their cause in beach volleyball. Another country that has some fine beaches. Certainly they do have the raw material to become a power in Asia and then even further beyond. That's out. Trinidad and Tobago celebrating another point here. TNT coached by the former Trinidad and Tobago international, Sean Morrison, part of the Trinidad and Tobago team that won the Caribbean Championship for the first time in 2010. He is also from the Embarcadero area in San Fernando, just as his forward charges here. And Miguel once again rising high. Almost a carbon copy of 2 points ago when he finds the corner of the court. It's almost like a training match for him. But that was another brilliant set there by Jerome Morrison. And again, the foul has gone against Sri Lanka. The tide has started to turn here in this second set. Trinidad and Tobago now have opened up a 5-point lead in this second set. Can they now carry on? Well, there's going to be a timeout here called by the Sri Lankans. Certainly not a bad time for it because they changeover, in fact. Not a bad time for it because Trinidad and Tobago was starting to put the hammer down. Australia and South Africa locked in a titanic battle here on court 2. Australia bronze medalist back in 2017. South Africa yet to register at this level. Certainly the two young South African teammates at the far corner, at the far side of the court, they will be looking to change that particular statistic. One of the powerhouses in the Commonwealth, South Africa. They and Australia usually have a big battle at the top. Well, that was a brilliant serve, wasn't that? That one, a little bit of side spin on it and swerving away from the South African player at the last moment. Trinidad and Tobago and the far side in action here against Sri Lanka. Just peeling off. At the last moment there, Miguel was caught in between blocking and just peeling off and trying to defend at the backcourt. Luckily for him, that one missed the side line. So Trinidad and Tobago continue to lead as their supporters continue to cheer and do whatever they can do to G up their team. Well, Morrison might be a small man, but tell you what, he rises high there. Unlucky not to get the line, going down the line with that one. Point will go to Sri Lanka. Young Morrison, one of the quietest players off the court, but he does make a big noise when he gets on the court. Miguel!
We have an urgent. We're asking for compliance. The volleyball arena is a no-fly zone for the drones. So please, to the drone
Another point for Trinidad and Tobago. Sri Lanka just failing to get an adequate block there to get past the presence there of Miguel. And another fine serve there by Morrison down the line has earned Trinidad and Tobago another point. Well, he's getting that one to dip sharply, Morrison, and that's in. So there we are, the Sri Lankans picking up another point. And they've been able to manage expectations here. Just 4 points behind Trinidad and Tobago in the second set. Miguel. Back to TNT. And Miguel. That's excellent work by Miguel. Took it early and has opened up the lead for Trinidad and Tobago to 5. So after a tight first set, it's a different picture second, with Trinidad and Tobago starting to put the pressure on the Sri Lankan team. Well, they're caught off guard there, straight down the middle, and very little communication between the two Sri Lankan players. And their hands on hips. The full teapots are out there for Sri Lanka at the moment. They have to find something here. They'll have to dig deep. That one might be is that one just a little bit long there? Little celebration from either team. 5-point lead for Trinidad and Tobago in this one. Trinidad and Tobago have excelled in beach soccer. The last Commonwealth Youth Games, the women getting the gold medal at the beach soccer arena in the Bahamas in Nassau, just close to the Sydney Poitiers Bridge. But the men falling in the final to St. Lucia in that contest. So fortunately for the youngsters, no beach soccer in this tournament. However, Trinidad and Tobago always strong in beach sports here once again.
But any drones are not official to the Commonwealth Games. Remember, this is broadcast live from Yellow TV, the official broadcast company of the Commonwealth Games, Trinbago2023.
The only problem for Trinidad and Tobago right now is a couple of invasive drones have floated over the court at the moment. Several announcements going up to get them out of the airspace. A no-fly zone, it was declared. Wonder if NATO had anything to do with that. Oh, Miguel. Wow. Boy, is he looking ominous here. And again, once a quite astute set there by Morrison. These two have a great understanding on and off the court. Overpowering at the net. He really is shaping up to be one of Trinidad and Tobago's most promising young players. And he is bullying the Sri Lankans at the net at the moment. Well, a bit of an anti-climax there. Trinidad and Tobago 15 points leading the Sri Lankans, 15-9 here. And if you are a Sri Lankan supporter, I don't think you'll like the body language of the two young men at the moment. They seem a little bit flustered, to say the least. Miguel again getting in there, but the block unsuccessful this time. But the point will go for Trinidad and Tobago. I believe there was some interference at the net there. That's out. Yeah, they are looking very flustered and frustrated at the moment, the Sri Lankans, and I think after exerting so much energy in the early part of this game and coming out fast out of the blocks, oh my, a little communication, and once again that has gone to the sand here. And they are looking at the ground, hands on the hips. Sri Lanka have to find something here late in this match. Well, Morrison dumps that into the net. But Trinidad and Tobago have now opened up an 8-point lead and just 3 away from a successful start to their 2023 Commonwealth Games campaign. Some news coming out of the Commonwealth Games. Well, first medals have been decided in Trinidad. Miles Liebenberg of South Africa and Lauren Bates of Australia have won the first gold medals at the Games Liebenberg finishing ahead of Elliot Rowe of Scotland and Will Heath of Australia in the men's individual time trial in Taruba. Trinidad and Tobago looking to close out victory here. That's a great play by Morrison, putting the pressure on Sri Lanka. This will set it up nicely for Miguel. And that certainly gave the crowd new voice here. Trinidad and Tobago now 2 points away from victory here. This man's best friend is having a very close eye on proceedings here. I'm not seeing a pass around his neck though. That's wide, and that will bring Trinidad and Tobago to the brink of victory here. Trinidad and Tobago just about to close off what will be their first victory in this Commonwealth Youth Games Beach Volleyball Championships. And it's going to be Miguel to serve here. The big man out of San Fernando. Oh, that's an unusual looking serve. What was that? Not sure what that was about, but he looking to close out play as the rain starts to greet the players here for the first time at Black Rock. And two interesting plays there, to say the least, from Miguel. Our four-legged friend has now left us. Apparently he's found some better things to do. Miguel just turns it over here. And Sri Lanka with a little flurry here at the end. 3 more points they've added in quick time. Trinidad and Tobago just a point away here. And there it is. That is victory for Trinidad and Tobago. And the home team have registered their first victory at these Commonwealth Youth Games Championships. And that is Trinidad and Tobago running out winners here. 21-19, 21-14. They have beaten Sri Lanka and they've gone on to win this one. Congratulations to Jerome Morrison and Jarif Mitchell. They have completed victory here. And boy, the crowd are really loving it at the moment. Trinidad and Tobago will be up against Cyprus next. Sri Lanka, they will also have to play Cyprus, as those three teams are grouped in the competition. Remember, it's 56 matches in 6 days here at the Colin Beach Sports Arena. So a lot of action still to come here at this particular facility here in Black Rock, Tobago.
Australia and South Africa.
Well, the rains have come down, and that's not going to affect the Trinidad and Tobago team. Well, they're just adjusting the net, and the reason for this is because the women's games are just about ready to start once again, so that's why they're adjusting the nets at the moment. The next match on the court here, that's on court 1. They're going to go to Vanuatu, are in action against the Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands losing their opening match, and they will have to try to get past Vanuatu to keep alive their chances of getting on the medal podium. On court 2, Australia are playing against South Africa, and the rains have come down here. And the rains have stopped play, so that's what's happened here. And Australia were actually just a point away from closing out victory, so they will have to hold their hand, as we like to say in Trinidad and Tobago, and we will do the same here. So we leave you with the news. Australia just a point away from victory, and Trinidad and Tobago men closing out a 2-0 win over Sri Lanka.
some noise for the teams. Put your hands together for the ladies. Congratulations to Australia on their set. It was a key match between South Africa. So Team TTO takes their match against Sri Lanka, and Australia tipping it over the South Africans. Remember, this is the home of volleyball for the coming week until the end of the Commonwealth Games right here in Tobago. We have both games across Trinidad and Tobago. Volleyball at Blackrock. The triathlon begins tomorrow at Buku. We have the rugby at Shore Park Recreational Grounds. And of course, it will all culminate with netball at the Shore Park Complex. And you can get those fixtures on Trinbago2023.com. You can check out the schedule and get a little bit more information on the teams. In the meantime, feel free to peruse the venue. We have our vendors, have a lot of nice refreshments and meals. Check out the tea towel booth. That's the Tobago Tourism Authority. Learn something about the island. Get a little memorabilia. Enter a little quiz. Ask for Miss Casey Henry. She'll show you what to do. So on court number 2, we have Scotland in the blue and black, blue tops. We have New Zealand in the white and grey, I believe. The eyes are not so good, I'm getting a bit old. We have Vanuatu in the green vest and the black, and they'll be going up against the Cayman Islands in the red and purple and black. Remember, it's first to 21, best of 3 matches. Just giving you a little update on what happened this morning. If you're now coming in, we had matches between Rwanda and England, Kenya versus Bermuda, Canada versus Scotland, Mozambique versus Cayman Islands, England versus Canada, and New Zealand versus Gambia. Those were the matches for the morning. But it's a bit cooler now. will be adjusting a lot better to the climate and the temperature. And we're just making way for the start of the women's match. This is the second set of matches for the evening. So again, welcome to this beautiful facility. It's a spanking new facility made just for this games. And guess what? It was done in record time in 40 days and 40 nights. Would you believe that? Wonderful. It's the home of all beach sports, but for this week, it's the home of volleyball. And you can trust that. Say good afternoon to Mr. Kani Hislop. He was once on the track for the youth games. He's not looking so youthful now, but he's still on the track. Yes, and want to say special big up to our law enforcement on the outside, keeping the place safe and secure, and of course, the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. Want to say good afternoon to all our uniformed forces. They work so hard to make sure everything is secure, and of course, it's Tobago. Want to big up our technical crew from Spain. Warren doing the official results and producing it. Again, you can go on Trinbago2023 and you can check the fixtures, results, the schedules. It's all there. And again, Trinbago2023.com. Aaron Martin and EID Cut Crew. See you, Mr. Martin. They are responsible for building this beautiful venue, and trust me, it was amazing to see it come together to host all the nations of the Commonwealth under this one banner, one heart, one nation, one spirit. We're all family here. It's the greatest little island on the planet. Definitely is. It's the new home of beach sports in the Western Hemisphere. The umpire is about to signal the start of the match. Good luck to all teams. Anyone from the Cayman Islands? Make some noise. Make some noise for two.
Welcome back. We've just seen the start of the New Zealand-Scotland game. That's the women's match on court 2. This is game number 5 of the women's competition. And Scotland starting off here, the Scotland representatives, Alexandra Clegg McKeon and Iona Bell for Scotland. And for New Zealand, it's Tanique Hinton and Kiana Stevenson. And New Zealand certainly will be hoping to get their first win. As for Scotland, they need to win this match to stay in the competition, at least in terms of getting a place on the podium. Scotland went under to Canada 21-10, 21-7 in their match earlier today. New Zealand making their first appearance in the competition. It will be Scotland, and this is Sasha, she likes to be called, Clegg McKeon. Well, that's very good play. Just stretching across to that was Iona Bell, unable to get anywhere close to it, and it will be the ball back to New Zealand, who have taken a small lead already here at the start of this one. Fortunately, they've decided to donate a couple of points back. The rain has been with us for a couple of minutes, but it's now subsided. Certainly it hasn't done anything to chase away this crowd here at the Corland Beach Sports Arena here in Blackrock, Tobago. It's an excellent bit of play. A brilliant dig there, you have to say, by Bell, but Clegg McKeon couldn't get in on the end of it to keep that one alive. 4-2 lead here, as you can see, for the New Zealand team. Didn't quite get that right there, Scotland. Advantage back to New Zealand. And that is just guided away from the line. Tried to go down the line, but just hooking that one a bit too much. And that's gone off the line. All of the officials, in fact, are here for this tournament are national players, current national players. Right of your picture, we just saw a sign of Fabian Whitfield, the man with the flag just outside of your picture on the right side. Part of the championship winning peer for beach volleyball here in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, that is an excellent poke down the right hand side. That has earned another point here for the New Zealand team.
So it's becoming a little reminiscent of this morning.
Shadows starting to stretch across the field here. This is court 2. Bell didn't get up high enough to really plant that one down the line, and also couldn't find the shot cross court.
It's beautiful Pebble Beach.
So this facility here in Corland Bay, named after the people of Latvia, the Corland area of Latvia. They would have spent some time here, and were in charge actually of Tobago a couple hundred years ago. There is a monument not far from here in Corland Bay, which marks their presence here in Tobago. Down the line, and that is another point for New Zealand. Certainly has been a great start here for New Zealand. They won the silver medal back in the 2017 Commonwealth Youth Games. It's kept alive.
And what you're hearing there is the official theme song of the Trinbago 2023 Games, done by Freetown Collective.
Oh, that's good play there once again by the New Zealand team. And they have taken control of this match early here. Hinton and Stevenson have been very quick to punish any loose play by the Scotland team. Still to come today, there will be Trinidad and Tobago's women's team. They're in action against Bermuda later on today, and we'll see for the first time Australia women. They're in action against England later on today. England pulling off a very nice victory against Rwanda earlier today. rare point here for Scotland in this first set. That's set up nicely. Good coverage in the backcourt. Oh, that's brilliant. Well disguised. She looked as though she was going to spike it down to the backcourt. Just at the last minute, just poking it deftly across the net to win the point. So a couple of points there for Scotland as they start trying to get something going for themselves in this first set. Has been largely New Zealand, though Hinton and Stevenson have been good so far. Here's Clegg McKeon with the serve. Bell did well there to keep that alive at the net, but the Scottish players, certainly they are feisty and full of fight here, but they have been overpowered at the net, largely by the taller figures of Hinton and Stevenson. And every situation like that, where they've come together at the net, Scotland have come out second best. Oh, that's good, well disguised. Looked as though she was going for the set, but then just flicking that over her head and picking up the point nicely. Bell with the serve. Ooh, that was an awesome one there by the New Zealand team. That was Hinton, the 18-year-old out of Christchurch, rising high. Scots had no answer to that at all. Into the net there by Hinton. She and Stevenson have also campaigned for New Zealand at the 2018 Youth Olympics in Argentina. Fiona Scrimshaw would have coached at the 2018 Youth Olympics in Argentina. That's the coach of the New Zealand team. And she also coached a team that went on to win the silver medal back in 2017. Jasmine Peppy Milton and Ella Margaret Ackerman, the two silver medalists from New Zealand. And that's the last thing that Scotland wants to do at this moment, just donate points from their service to the New Zealand team. That finds the corner of the court, and another point there for Scotland. At the changeover here, it is Scotland fighting back, but it is New Zealand that have the lead in this first set.
The Trinbago Police Service keeping the place safe and secure. They're probably the dark nights, you know, working when we don't see them.
Well, this is Cayman Islands versus Vanuatu. This one's tied at 9-all at the moment here. What's the call going to be? There was definitely a touch on the net there, and it did look like the Cayman Islands player, I believe that was Anija Del Pena, coming in to touch the net, so the point has gone. Actually, it was the other way around, and it was the Vanuatu player that came in to the net, and that has given the point to the Cayman Islands, who now lead by 10-9. Vanuatu had a very interesting bit of traveling to get here to Trinidad and Tobago. They flew from Vanuatu to Fiji, then to Los Angeles, and to Trinidad and Tobago, literally halfway across the world to get here. Vanuatu represented by Stephanie Joel and Elino Mool. And there's really is just an island nation in the South Pacific, part of Melanesia. 307,000 plus make up the population of Vanuatu. Back with the New Zealand-Scotland game. New Zealand have control of the ball at the moment and control of the match. Bell with the attempted spike. Oh, that's another exclamation point spike there by the New Zealand player, Tanique Hinton. nicely here by Hinton once again. And that is another point for the New Zealand team. They've now opened up a 5-point gap here over Scotland. And Scotland, after losing those first 2 sets in the competition, they are looking likely to go down by 3 straight, but they'll have to fight back here. That's a good bit of play again. 5-point lead restored here by New Zealand. They're looking to go one better here in 2023. Commonwealth Youth Games returning after an absence of 6 years. Good bit of play at the net. Scotland do well to keep that alive. And has that dropped in? Yes, it has. Or has it? Scotland was sure it did, but it looked like it just went over the line. So unfortunately for Scotland, that is ball back to New Zealand here. Here's Stevenson. Another great serve by Stevenson, and she has to fight big here. What a shot that was by Stevenson. That one was a great serve, and she followed it up to the left sideline. That one was dropping into play, and a diving attempt guides it over the net and wins the point there for New Zealand. Excellent play there by Stevenson. That has put New Zealand within touching distance of this first set. Well, that looked like it landed in. It did. Misjudgment there by Stevenson this time. Thought that one was going to beat the back line. Unfortunately, it just dropped in. That's wide. And New Zealand embrace, but that one going wide. And that's well, there's going to be the changeover now as both teams heading down to the business end of this first set. And it is Scotland that are in some trouble here.
And the Cayman Islands leading 14-9.
Kiwis to receive here from the Scots. And that's just hitting the top of the tape. So Scotland giving back the point there to New Zealand, who now once again open up a 5-point lead here. New Zealand still to play Canada. That's going to be a real test of their mettle here. You would feel that they will get past Scotland in this match. Excellent serve again. That one was dipping viciously, and it set up the point nicely here for New Zealand. And the two players for Scotland getting caught out again by that dipping serve. Really putting a lot of topspin on that there, Hinton. And that one dropping just in the shadow. The problem for the Scottish team also is that with that shadow coming across the court, the ball's coming from shadow to light. And also doesn't really help with your concentration, does it? So at the break, it is New Zealand that lead here in the first set against Scotland, who are on the verge of perhaps their second defeat. Cayman Islands in charge of this one. That one just drifting long. So point there for Vanuatu. Cayman's leading by 17-10. Cayman Islands in the red and black outfits. Vanuatu will occupy the far court now. They're in the green and yellow. They've been here for a while, so they've shaken off the jet lag. And of course, the wonderful accommodations here in Tobago for all of the teams at some of the top hotels in the island. Vanuatu to start off here. Cayman Islands looking to wrap up the first set. Is that going to land in? It's out. Service for Vanuatu. Remember, they are represented by Stephanie Joel and Eleno Moole. Moole, the only player I've seen so far to play in spectacles. Certainly not going to be comfortable when you go for a dive here. Oh, that's a good bit of play. And Vanuatu, another point there for the Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands just 3 points away from wrapping up the first set here. Well, just coming back to the New Zealand game, New Zealand have just wrapped up the first set. They've won the first set and they've clinched it against Scotland. So that's 3 straight sets that Scotland have dropped in this competition. And New Zealand taking the first set 21-13. So it is the biggest output for Scotland so far in this competition in terms of points won in a set. But it's not enough here, as they have lost their first 3 sets in the competition, 21-10, 21-7, and 21-13. They'll have to change that stat very quickly if they are to keep alive their chances in the competition. And as we look on here, the Cayman Islands looking to wrap up the first set themselves. 3 points away, the Cayman Islands. Oh, that's excellent. Good work there by Brianna Del Pena. And with that right-handed shot, just able to get that in the gap between Joel and Moole. Kept in play, at least for the moment. Will that be returned? It doesn't. And that will put Cayman Islands on the hill here. Cayman Islands with a 4-point lead here and just on the verge of winning this first set and their first set of the tournament. They really fought Mozambique tooth and nail in their first set, losing out 24-22, but then fell away to lose 21-10. Back to Cayman Islands here. Can they wrap it up with this? Not enough on that. Kept in play. Del Pena, and that's long. They did have opportunities there, the Cayman Islands, to wrap it up, but Vanuatu stay alive here in this one.
Scotland and New Zealand are going to start the second set. Well, they're already into the second set. 1 point up.
Good serve by the Melanesians.
Cayman Islands 20.
That stays alive. Can she get it over? She does. Chance again here for the Cayman Islands. Not enough on that. And that has gone long. And that is the first set. And the Cayman Islands have taken the first set here. And so that is victory for the Cayman Islands in the first set. And that is their first set win in the competition so far, losing out in straight sets to Mozambique earlier today. And they have victory in the first set. They're taken a 1-0 lead. So Scotland hanging tough here, trying to make sure that they get something back from this one. New Zealand have already brushed them aside in the first set, 21-13. Hinton and Stevenson. Scotland in the forecourt. Well, that's not well played, and they can't keep it in play here, Scotland. The dig went awry, and that's where it all fell apart in that particular point for them.
We have the Cayman Islands, the red
Another point there for New Zealand, who have now raced out to a 6-0 lead here in the second set. Very, very similar to what happened to Scotland in their match against Canada. They were in front of Canada for a while in that first set before losing it 21-10. And then were blown out in the second set 21-7. Similar pattern here. It's eerie similarity to it for the Scots.
And another point for New Zealand. We have any? Are there any New Zealand supporters in the house? And we see the flag there. And of course they're going up against Scotland. I wonder if there are any Scotland supporters in the house. That's right. And they're side by side. I'm just loving it right now. Loving it. So we're in the second set. And it's just the start. It's going to be beautiful volleyball throughout the whole season. Oh, what a great dive there from Cayman Islands. Vanuatu keeping it alive. So at the moment, New Zealand are leading 8-0. But don't count out the Scots. Don't count them out. As I tell you, first point to Scotland. Remember, there are refreshments on sale around the venue, so you can get hydrated. Don't be a victim to the heat. So we're already into the second set. Cayman Island has the first set. New Zealand already has one. Best of three. sport is the conduit that brings communities together. So we want to say good afternoon to all the parents of the athletes and all the supporting fans. All our visitors from over the waters throughout the region. All our visitors from Trinidad. And of course, all my beautiful people right here in Tobago, in beautiful Black Rock. I want to also acknowledge the presence of former national footballer Devon Leacock, and of course our prize goalkeeper Kamika Forbes. We have our national javelinist Tyreek Hosford. He's back on the island for a little bit, just blessing the place. Welcome back, man. Vanuatu has managed to tie up the scores again. It's all level, 6-6 against the Cayman Islands. New Zealand still holding on to the lead, 13-2. But Scotland's fighting hard to stay in it. They're not giving up, trust that. They're not going to give up. And there they go, racking up another point, closing the gap.
Scotland in all sorts of problems here against New Zealand in the second set. And after conceding the first set 21-13, Scotland now trail in the second set 15-3. So almost a carbon copy of what happened in their first game against Canada. Great effort in the first set, but however in the second they've tended to be a little bit lightweight here, Scotland. And both of the teams that they have faced so far have been big athletic teams, Canada and New Zealand. That Canada-New Zealand, based on what we've seen so far, that is going to be a real decider in this particular pool. That is going to take place tomorrow here in Blackrock. Hope that you will be joining us for that. Scotland have had little to celebrate in this second set. And there's one bit they will celebrate here. And that's out. Certainly not one of the most popular sports in the country. Scotland, the northernmost of the British home territories. Football the most popular, however. And they certainly have been enjoyed some success at the Commonwealth Games. 356 medals for Scotland, with inclusive of 91 gold medals, and they have staged the Commonwealth Games last time in 2014. So we do have a little break in the New Zealand game, so let's move across to the Vanuatu Cayman Islands match, which is into the second set. And Vanuatu have opened up a little bit of a lead here, so they have some potential of taking this one to a decider. And Vanuatu, who we mentioned, joined the Commonwealth back in 1980, the island nation looking to get back into the contest here. That's long, so that will go back to Vanuatu. finding their mojo here in the second set. Cayman Islands trying to claw things back. They would love to close this out to 2-0. Great uncertainty there between the two players from the Cayman Islands. That's wide. And they've been able to break the pressure there of the Vanuatu team, who are starting to string a couple of points together and have forged ahead here in the second set. Well, that's into the net again. A couple of points together here for Scotland. For the, the Cayman Islands. Anisha and Brianna Dela Pena, trying to close out their first victory and keep alive their chances of making it to the quarterfinals here. That's in. Excellent shot there by the Vanuatu team.
It's 20-4, New Zealand over Scotland.
And that was Stephanie Joel that guided that one in. So let's head back to the New Zealand-Scotland game. New Zealand leading by one set, 21-13. And New Zealand on the verge of closing out the match here. This is match point 24 in the second set. Chance here for Scotland to pull a couple of points back. Could this be the end of it here? New Zealand, oh, that's into the net again. And Scotland may be a bit too far off for a dramatic Hollywood comeback. But the New Zealand team certainly very much in charge. They have definitely taken their foot off the accelerator here. They have a huge lead, and there it is. New Zealand have run out winners here. They have won the second set, and they have beaten Vanuatu. They have beaten Scotland here in straight sets. New Zealand winning by 2-0. 21-13 they won in the first set, and 21-6 in the second set. Unfortunately for Scotland, that is their second defeat, and that certainly has dimmed their chances of going on to the medal rounds. But it is a very good victory for New Zealand, and they will certainly be a force to be reckoned with in this competition. They will face Canada in their last game. Scotland have played out their preliminary round matches, and we'll see as what shakes out tomorrow after New Zealand take on Canada in the last game of this pool. Now back here in this particular match, Vanuatu versus the Cayman Islands. Vanuatu still leading by 13-10 here over the Cayman Islands in the second set. Oh, not well handled there by Brianna Del Pena, the captain. Yeah, certainly that ball wobbles viciously, especially when you hit it into the wind. That's one of the advantages of hitting from this side. That's kept in play. Cayman Islands trying to get back into this point. Vanuatu have hit that one long. Yeah, just too much onto that. Didn't rise high enough to get the shot off there, Joel. And that has brought it even closer here now for the Cayman Islands. Turned over here to Vanuatu. Potential of going 3 points up and just plowing that into the top of the net. So this their lead has dwindled now just to 1 point. Cayman Islands fighting back in the second set. They want to close out victory here. Oh, that was a great move. Wonderful stuff there. Great awareness of the empty spots in the court. And that has restored their 2 point lead here. Vanuatu. These two island nations are from different, halfway around the world from each other. And that's one of the beauties of this multi-sport competition, bringing people from different sides of the world, different cultures, different ethnic groups. A huge melting pot here, and great to see the competition between these two island nations. Cayman Islands in the near court, on the defensive now. Oh, chance here for them. Oh, that was not well handled. Just couldn't bump that one out in front of her there, Anija Del Pena. Again, that's out. 17-13 now. And the potential of a third set increases here as Vanuatu open up a 4-point lead. Well, they've closed that by 1. So in case you're just joining us, this is the first match for Vanuatu in the competition. As for the Cayman Islands, they lost their earlier match and are a set to the good here in this one. Kept that alive well. And that's run out of play here. Wow. Vanuatu about to close off the second set here. A third set in this match is imminent. Point to Cayman Islands. They had the advantage all the way through that particular point, but finally able to close out and take the point. But still, Vanuatu are just a point away from taking this second set. That's in, and there it is. That is victory for Vanuatu in the second set, and they have now tied it up at 1 set apiece. We will go to a decider in this match between Vanuatu and the Cayman Islands. Vanuatu winning this one 21-16.
And we're coming to almost the end of the second set. It's 2017. Cayman getting the serve. And the Cayman Islands bringing back this one, closing the gap. Vanuatu need 1 more point to get this set.
So Vanuatu still a point away from victory here. The Cayman Islands have done well to pull it back to a 2-point deficit. But can they now get anything from this point? They need to win this point. And they have. Wow. 21-19. Who would have thought that the Cayman Islands would be coming back in this second set? Still, that is 4 unanswered points here from the Cayman Islands. Vanuatu crumbling here late. That's out. They've tied it up. Wow, that is absolutely incredible. The Cayman Islands have come back from nowhere to tie it up in the second set. That's kept alive. Brilliant play. And that's out. Vanuatu are back in the driver's seat here. 1 point away from victory. They've had 6 match points snatched away from them. Can it be lucky 7 for them? Set points, correction. And that's into the net. Oh, and that's... it's tied up again here. Which team will go on to win this one? Well, they switched over sides here. And the Vanuatu on the far side. Cayman Islands will have the serve. It's 21 all. Del Peña and Del Peña. They want to win it now. Chance here for them to set up a winning attack. That's long. Yeah, that one going too long. Just didn't get the hands over it at all to slap that one down into the court. Vanuatu back up, 1 ahead. Vanuatu with the serve. Not well controlled! And that is Vanuatu.
And this one goes.
Well, Vanuatu have closed out the second set. They've now won it 23-21. What an exciting end to that second set. And that is absolutely deflating for the Cayman Islands. They came back from 6 points down to tie up this second set, only for Vanuatu to snatch it once again. So that is victory for Vanuatu in the second set. We are now going to a decider here. And this one is going down to that decisive third set. We've seen a couple of them already for the day. In the first match of the competition, England came from a set down to win. In the first men's match, England came from a set down to tie it up, only for Canada to win it. And then, now we're into a third set here once again. Which team is going to win this one? As for the remaining 2 matches, Australia women take on England women, and Trinidad and Tobago women, here for the first time in the competition, they will be taking on Bermuda.
In the meantime, we have this major battle between Vanuatu and Cayman Islands. No one wants to let this one go. It's one apiece. If you're wondering about the time announcement, we're probably on daylight saving time. I guess we gotta set it back an hour. Maybe. Just couldn't get it up. So Vanuatu already out in front. 3-0. So let's see if we can get some vibes inside this arena. Let me hear some noise from the left side of the stands. Now we're going to do a little competition. That was the left side. Let's try the right side. Let me hear some noise from the right side of the stands. All right, so left stands. You heard that? We're going to make more noise than that, all right? We're going to make more noise than that. So let's hear some noise from the left side of the stands. We're gonna have a major competition here. Let me hear the right side of the stands. I'm going to check with my judges. Judges, what do you think? It sounds level? We got to do it again? All right, we got to do it again. We got to do it again. You ready? I saw my boy warming up over there. That's the coach. That's the coach in white. He's warming up. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Coach man, you ready? Let's hear the noise in the left. That's not. I don't know what is happening there. You ready, coach? All right. Let's tell me this. He wasn't ready, so we're going one more time. Left side of the stands, make some noise! You all think you can do that? You think you can do that? Right side of the stands, make some noise! I'm loving it, I'm loving it, I'm loving it. So left and right, make some noise! That's right, beautiful games here. Alright, so we have a match between Australia and England. It's already on the way. Australian fans, are you in the stands? Is Australia in the stands? Alright. Is England in the house? Small bunch, but they got the support. So they're already on to their first set. So just an announcement. The driver of PDJ6510, the driver of PDJ6510, there's an emergency by your vehicle. You need to get there immediately. Thank you very much. Again, the driver of PDJ6510, well, 10, please remove your vehicle immediately. Listen, man, it's hot up here, man. And we just want to welcome the presence of the Chief Secretary of Tobago, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, and his beautiful wife and family. Welcome to the games. We have some beautiful matches on the way. And then in the lead, 7-5. It's their serve. Cayman Islands and Vanuatu still battling it out. It's the third set. Commonwealth family. Coming in all the way to make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. And Team Australia closing the gap. England is still leading 9-7. England in the red tops, black bottoms. Australia in the yellow and green, the iconic yellow and green. And what a great spike from Australia there. 9-8 the score. Powerful strike. England. Halfway through that set. That point goes to Australia. 12-10, England leading. And it's an intense match between Cayman Islands and Vanuatu. They're already feeling the pressure. One of the athletes seems to be having a bit of cramp, but she's going to soldier through. It's a third and final set. One apiece. George and her team. I see y'all working hard. Making sure everyone is safe. And we're back to it. Vanuatu against Cayman Islands. Australia has taken over the lead, 15-12. Coming from behind. And it's a really intense match between the Cayman Islands and Vanuatu. These athletes are giving their all. Cheer them on, they're giving their all. It's a third and final set. It's not easy walking through the sand, running and jumping. England are pulling this one back, 16-15. Oh wow. So 10-8 to Vanuatu over Cayman Islands. Australia and England are now locked in at 16-16. England has regained the lead, 17-16.
(11-9) the score between the Cayman Islands and Vanuatu. This game locked at a set apiece, and it is the Cayman Islands that are battling to stay in the competition here after defeating their first game to Mozambique. Serve for Cayman Islands. That's just long from Vanuatu. And that looked like Mool getting the final touch on that one. Point for the Cayman Islands. Just outside just missed the back line there with that spike in between Joel and Mool. And again, another point for Vanuatu, who move ahead by 3 now. 13-10 it is in their match. This match, one of 2 going on at the moment. Vanuatu against the Cayman Islands. This one going the full distance. Australia and England tied up in a very tense battle at the moment on court 2. (13-11) so far in the third set here. Vanuatu just 2 points away from victory here on court 2. Oh, that's a bad error there by the Cayman Islands, and that has put Vanuatu on top of the hill here, just a point away from what would be a remarkable turnaround victory. And they will change ends of the court here. Remember, the Cayman Islands storming to the first set, 21-16. Vanuatu battling back to win the second set, 23-21. And now they lead by 14-11, and serve is for Vanuatu. Kept in play. Chance here for Vanuatu. Cayman Islands keeping this one alive. Joel knocks it over. Has to track this one down. Now here comes the shot, and that is too wide. That's long off the mark, and that is a point here for the Cayman Islands, but they still are 2 points adrift here, 3 points adrift of Vanuatu. Vanuatu still in the box seats to win this one. And there's a shot by, oh, that's gone, has that gone out? Yes, it has. That is victory for Vanuatu. And Vanuatu have won the third set, 15-12, and they've taken the match by 2 sets to 1. A really great victory here for Vanuatu. And if you are watching from Vanuatu right now, certainly it is a proud moment for your team as they have pulled out a come-from-behind victory by 2 sets to 1. And that's coming back after losing the first set, 21-16, 23-21, 15-12. Unfortunately for the Cayman Islands, who lost by 2 sets to nothing against Mozambique earlier today. And the Del Pina sisters, unfortunately, have lost their second, and they will now move into the next round to play in the placement matches. As for Vanuatu, they are still very much in it. They will face the might of Mozambique tomorrow in their second and final preliminary match. Trinidad and Tobago will take on Bermuda in the next game on court 1. Trinidad and Tobago women appearing in the tournament for the first time, as are their compatriots, Caribbean partners here from Bermuda. In the meantime, it is the Ashes with volleyballs going on at the moment. The women's Ashes, that is. Australia versus England in a very, very tight first set. England have been slightly the better of the 2 teams for large portions of this match. And just as you say that, Australia find a way to spike that one into the corner. That was the taller of the 2, Jasmine Rayner from Queensland, rising high to spike that one into the corner. Cameron Zager from South Australia, the other of the 2 Australians out there today. Well kept in by Zager, trying to set it up here for Rayner, and she does well to rise up high and spike down another point for Australia. England, of course, represented by Daisy Boardman and Alice Jagielska. Australia in control of the ball at the moment. So just to update you on this England-Australia game, England losing out in the first set. Australia taking the first set 21-18, just pulling away at the end to get the win. And Australia leading in the second set already. So England have a real battle on their hands here. And certainly they having to go to 3 sets earlier today will not help their cause. England losing the first set to Rwanda 21-18 to set up what could have been an upset, but a fine performance by Boardman and Jagielska fighting back to take the next 2 sets, 20-14 and 15-2. 4-3 here in the second set. And it is going to be Boardman to serve from Erminston Grammar Volleyball Club. Well, unfortunately, the Australians able to put a punctuation mark on that past the young lady from the Erminston Grammar Volleyball Club. Boardman, 18 years old, and is very much seen as part of the England setup for the Olympics in a couple Olympics time, you'd think, for the development of these 2 youngsters. Boardman there, just wrong-footed, unable to get across to that one. That's a very good dig from England. But the second time round, couldn't get across to it. And that's Zeja getting the point for Australia. 7-3 their lead in the second set. Already the signs that the defending champions are asserting their dominance here today. 8-3 now. Remember, Australia won the title back in 2017 in the Bahamas. Carrie Van Renshaw and Rebecca May Ingram getting the title that time.
matchup of the day is about to start. Make some noise for Bermuda. And make some noise for the home team, Team TTO. Remember, it's best of 3, first to 21. Serve from Australia, maintaining the lead, 13-5. And the matchup is on the way between Bermuda and Team TTO. The first point to Bermuda. The referee just having a word with the TTO athlete. Bermuda leading 2-0. England fighting to keep that point, but losing it in the end. 15-6 to Australia. And the first point for Team TTO.
Trinidad and Tobago, the home team in action for the first time here today. Trinidad and Tobago represented by LaFay Roberts and Mika Johnson. It is Johnson to serve. Cayman Islands with the early start here. Good early start for them. Johnson, the shorter of the two, just getting enough onto that to guide it into the open court. Bermuda represented by Natalie Gazard and Kaylee Hamilton. Allison settled their coach. Bermuda from north of the Caribbean. Certainly not considered a part of the Caribbean. Very much of British heritage. Another service here from the Bermuda team who have started the brighter of the two teams. That's given back to Bermuda here. Johnson. Seem to be getting themselves in a bit of a tangle there, Trinidad and Tobago, and finally managing to stem the tide in terms of the flow of the points there. Trinidad and Tobago on the board. 3 apiece now. Bermuda had started off very well. Trinidad and Tobago are starting to get themselves back into it. 17-year-old Roberts mentioned that both of these athletes from Trinidad and Tobago are from the troubled area of Embarcadere in Trinidad. It's a wonderful story of how volleyball has contributed to the improvement of the community and the intrepid works of the volleyball coaches and staff in the area. Now back to the England-Australia match. And Australia has absolutely blown away England here in the second set correction. 18-7 here. England struggling to get a foothold in this second set. That's in.
And Australia in the lead, 19-7.
And just 2 points away now, Australia. This has been absolutely impressive from the Australians, Reina and Zaja. That's kept in play. Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant stuff there. And that's just tipped over. And that has found the court. That was Rayner again with a brilliant bit of play. Match point here for Australia. Brilliant serve. England in some trouble now. Kept in play here by Australia. And that's why. Reprieve there, stay of execution. Looked like that was Cameron Zager, the South Australian, who plays for USC Lions, rising high, but unable to guide that one into the court.
Actually, no. We have one more. We have a switch.
Australia, 1 point away now.
Save to England.
Oh, that's in the court, and that is victory for Australia. They've absolutely blown away England in this second set, and 21-8 in the second set. Australia march on here. The gold medal is back in 2017, and they are showing already that they are not going to be any pushovers. They want to hold on to that gold medal. This pairing of Rayner and Zager, they certainly do want to hold on to that title. Australia beating England 21-18, 21-8 here in their match, game number 7 of the Women's Championship here at Commonwealth Games beach volleyball competition. This is the final match of the day. Trinidad and Tobago in action here. And the home team have been well supported. Almost a capacity crowd here at the Holland Beach Sports Facility here in Black Rock, Tobago, an historic part of the island of Tobago. Brilliant bit of play to keep that one alive there for Bermuda.
Just misreading that one. Bermuda getting that point. 9-5.
Bermuda picking up the point, and they are leading Trinidad and Tobago by 9 points to 5 here.
Right, so I'm going to do a check-in, doing a roll call. Left side of the stands is still in the house.
So a short break here, and Trinidad and Tobago trailing Bermuda by 9-5 in the first set. In the final game of the day, on day 1 of the Beach Volleyball Championships here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you. You're present. Welcome to class. So let's go back. Left side of the stand. All right. So you get an A+. You both get an A+. So in the final matchup, Bermuda against Team TTO. Bermuda leading 9-5. Final match of the day. Of course, the fun still continues. Tomorrow, we resume here at 10 o'clock. We have another set of 6 great matches here for you tomorrow. Just to give you a little heads up of the schedule, we have the men from Sri Lanka going up against Cyprus.
Good. Yeah. Good point.
Trinidad and Tobago in a real battle here with the Bermuda team, and the Bermuda team of Hamilton and Gazard. They're up against Roberts and Johnson for Trinidad and Tobago. First medals of the Commonwealth Games have already been awarded. Australia and South Africa taking the first 2 gold medals on offer. That was in road cycling earlier today at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. And in case you're wondering what the applause is about, point for Trinidad and Tobago. Every point for Trinidad and Tobago has been warmly applauded here by the crowd at the facility here in Blackrock. A brilliant attempt there by LePay Roberts to keep that one in play. But again, the Bermudans have been very strong here in the first part of this first set. That's very good work there from LePay Roberts. 2022 Youth and Junior Player of the Year by the Trinidad and Tobago Volleyball Federation. In fact, the point has been awarded to Bahamas. Thought that one crept into play. It didn't. And that's long. So Trinidad and Tobago not getting their offense off and running here at the moment. So it has been fairly one-way traffic here for the Bermuda team. That's out. Trinidad and Tobago stemming the tide here of points being scored by Bermuda. There was a touch there. That one stay in play. Well, the teams have been shown towards their respective benches, and there is a bit of a timeout at the moment.
Let's go, TTO!
12-8 the score at the break here. Trinidad and Tobago have found themselves in a little bit of a hole, and they will have to fight tooth and nail to get back into this first set. Does give me the chance to update you on what's happened earlier today. Miles Liebenberg of Australia and Lauren Bates have won the first gold medals at the 2023 Commonwealth Games. Liebenberg getting the gold medal ahead of Elliot Rowe of Scotland and Will Heath of Australia. That happened in Tarouba, Trinidad in the men's individual time trial at the Brian Law Cricket Academy on Saturday morning. In the women's individual time trial, Australia got 1-2 with Bates winning gold and Kira Will taking the silver medal. Ruby Oakes of the Isle of Man winning the bronze medal there. And certainly the Isle of Man having a great history in cycling. Mark Cavendish has come to mind. Manx Missile, as he's called, crashing out of the Tour de France a couple of weeks ago. Back here on the court. And Trinidad and Tobago picking up another point. Bermuda never really looked in control of that one and dumping that into the net.
39, sorry.
Trinidad and Tobago still trailing by 4 here. And that is wonderfully done. A really deft touch to lift it over the Trinidad and Tobago player Mika Johnson into the open court. So that's 14-19. 14-19. Bermuda lead here. Oh, that's a mistake there by Roberts. And that mistake has given the Bermuda team a six-point advantage now. This game has been taking place with the soundtrack of the Freetown Collective song. That is very much the soundtrack of this Commonwealth Youth Games, the theme song.
Team TTO holding on, but Bermuda out in front, 16-9.
Bermuda have found another gear as they've come out of the break. 4 points unanswered here against Trinidad and Tobago. Well, they have gotten back one. Trinidad and Tobago into double figures finally. 16-10. Hasn't been the best of performances so far from Trinidad and Tobago. That one just crawls off the net, and that was the most cruel of net cords, you have to say. Not only did it roll maybe about 2 meters, 2 feet along the net cord, but also dropped in an unprotected area. Another error there by Trinidad and Tobago. Bermuda now 18-10 ahead, and a rash of mistakes in that phase of the game has given Sean Morrison's team a mountain to climb here as we get to the business end of the first set. And the crowd, which was full of voice just about 15 minutes ago, is now drawn silent here at Black Rock in Tobago. Some problems here. Oh, that's good enough. She did well enough there, Johnson, to win the point for Trinidad and Tobago. That certainly did look as Bermuda was setting up for the kill. But Johnson putting that one away. (18-11) in this first set. Another good point there for the Bermudans, who had 9 successful attacks so far in this particular game. But it has been an error-strewn performance here from Trinidad and Tobago, despite the fact that Trinidad and Tobago committed 6 errors. They have gotten most of their points from errors by the Bermudans. That's gonna go just long here for Trinidad and Tobago. And Bermuda are just in front and ready, just as a point away from closing up this first set. That's out. So 20-12 now, Bermuda in front, and Hamilton and Gazard are just about ready to close up this first set. And our four-legged friend is back, and now he's decided to come on the court. And once again, he's come on without his pass. I really think security has to either get him a pass or he has to be taken off the that's the right way, shown by the young ladies from Bermuda. Just trying to coax him off the court. I don't think the rake is going to do it. The gentleman in red has just earned himself being struck off the Christmas list of many animal lovers all over, fortunately for him. But he's learned his lesson, and now he's just gently urging our four-legged friend from the K9 unit off the field. He's having a rather close look at it. He's not satisfied with sitting on the bleachers at all. Here we go, Bermuda just a point away from taking the first set. Just overcooked that one. Bit too much mustard on that. And Trinidad and Tobago, 13 points, 7 points away.
One by one. One by one, TTO.
Crowd is yelling one by one to the Trinidad and Tobago team. But even for Team TNT, that's too far off. Oh, that's dropped in. That is the first set for Bermuda. They have taken the first set 21-13. And the Bermudans, Gazard and Hamilton, have taken the first set. And they, Trinidad and Tobago, must win this second set. So work here for Roberts and Johnson and their coach Sean Morrison if they are to come back in this match. Trinidad and Tobago losing the first set 21-13 to Bermuda.
Remember, it's the Commonwealth Youth Games. We're here all week, the home of volleyball. Trinbago 2023. You can catch all the highlights, fixtures, and scores on the Trinbago2023.com website.
Start of the second set. Trinidad and Tobago starting off with a point in this one. Roberts having so much time on her hands. She actually had enough time there to wipe the sand clean from her hands before she launched that attack. Problem for Trinidad and Tobago in the first set is not converting on their attacks. Bermuda picking up another point. Bermuda was successful in, they successfully converted 10 out of their 20 attacks in the first set. Trinidad and Tobago converting 8 out of 15, so slightly successful percentage-wise, but the Bermudans were creating attacks from several turnovers by Trinidad and Tobago. Eight errors for Trinidad and Tobago in the first set also did not help their cause at all.
Now in the lead, 3-2.
Bermuda back in front with that point. And already a set to the good, 21-13 ahead. Another error here, this time by Roberts. And it certainly has been an error-strewn performance for Trinidad and Tobago. And the crowd have been absolutely silenced here at Black Rock. And just the sound of the cheering has died down. And it's more oohs and ahs now as Trinidad and Tobago retreat for a tactical discussion. 3-2 right now. Teams return to the court here. It's Bermuda that are ahead in the second set. They're ahead 4 points to 2 in the second set. Already winning the first set 21-13. Hamilton and Gazard versus Roberts and Johnson from Trinidad and Tobago. There's Johnson just getting back into position. Roberts, correction. Oh, that's too hot to handle. That one maybe just deviating late there. Johnson has mishandled a couple of these service games, and they've been targeting her all the way through. Now they've been called to the sidelines again after that technical timeout. And now it is the Bermuda team ahead 5-2 here in the second set. There will be action tomorrow. Beach volleyball will enter its second day. Beach volleyball runs for 6 days. Cycling will take a break tomorrow. They'll be back on Monday with more competition.
And Bermuda keeping that one, 6-2, still in the lead.
Rugby sevens will begin tomorrow at Shore Park, Tobago. Also swimming starts at the Aquatic Center in Trinidad, as will the triathlon be taking place in Tobago here at Pigeon Point.
That's a good serve from Bermuda there, just touching the inside.
And Bermuda still piling on the pressure here on Trinidad and Tobago. 6-2. And they're targeting Johnson with these serves. Johnson, just a little bit too long. That one just over the line.
Another point for Bermuda. Bermuda 8, TTO 2.
Hamilton with the serve. Good one that Johnson handles well. It's peeling off the net. That's where they found themselves into problems, opting to peel off the net rather than going up for the block. And given the superior height of LeFay Roberts, I think that's one of the areas they will have to look at. Trinidad and Tobago, that's a brilliant ace down the middle. And that is Bermuda 10-2, and they are really racing away with this second set. And they've quickly figured out that Johnson might be the weaker of the two in terms of handling those serves. And she's also in terms of the spiking,
That one goes outside.
not
That's
quite
another point
as
for Bermuda,
good as
11-2.
Roberts.
With the serve.
Johnson, a national youth player,
Oh, just couldn't get
That's
that block in.
just wide.
Good point to Bermuda there.
The Trinidad and Tobago, that one coming off the last touch there for Trinidad and Tobago. Another point for Bermuda. And they're now opened up a 10-point lead. It's one of the biggest leads we've seen in the competition so far. And unfortunately, the home team and the home supporters have been dumbstruck here by this performance from Hamilton and Gazad. (12-3). I'll bring a cheer to the crowd. 4th point for Trinidad and Tobago.
Bermuda, 3.
But they will need to find a period of great dominance here, Trinidad and Tobago, if they are to get back into this set and into this match. That's going to be difficult against these two. Well, that's well played, and that is picked up. A 5th point, 3 straight points here for Trinidad and Tobago. Still life here in this Trinidad and Tobago team. And that's another one. So are they finding their mojo late here? That's a 4th straight point here for Trinidad and Tobago.
And the fans seem to be loving it. Just loving it.
Error there by Johnson. Retrieves the situation for Trinidad and Tobago. Chance here for Bermuda. And they've haven't done their best with that one. And finally, well, they always looked in control at that point there, Bermuda. And now they lead once again, 13-6.
And they're starting to heat it up.
Trinidad and Tobago, that little flurry of points there. Certainly they need a couple more of those if they are to catch up with Bermuda in this second set. Well, there's one at least.
The gap seems to be closing. Bermuda 13, Trinidad.
Rugby and triathlon coming tomorrow here in Tobago. Certainly the crowds will be out for this. It's been an encouraging start here in Tobago. As well, Roberts again. It's a very good block. And that's gone. Has that gone just wide? Yes, it has.
Missing it, narrowly missing it. You saw it. So it's 14 to Bermuda, 7 to TTTL.
14-7, and here's the changeover. And Trinidad and Tobago, they are certainly trailing the Bermudans here.
All on the line. Putting on a great show for us.
21-13, Bermuda took the first set, and now they have a comfortable lead by 7 points in the second. Tomorrow, certainly it's a moving day here at the Commonwealth Youth Games beach volleyball competition. A lot of these teams will be playing their second games tomorrow. Men's and women's competition, quarterfinals to follow after that on day three. And that is a very important day tomorrow for teams and their chances of possibly getting a medal in this competition. Trinidad and Tobago has never won a medal in beach volleyball in the Commonwealth Youth Games. Bermuda trying to make it a first for themselves. Very strong in triathlon, Bermuda. And they will try to, I'm sure that their charges will be attempting to make their mark on the Commonwealth Youth Games in the triathlon tomorrow. some oohs around us here, and that's because Bermuda won another point. And just to reference that triathlon's idea a bit better, Flora Duffy, the Bermudan athlete who's won the Commonwealth Games title, and she will also, I'm sure, inspire the young chargers in their search for medal here in Tobago. Well, Bermuda still piling on the pressure here on Trinidad and Tobago. 16-7 in the second set. The crowd can't believe what they're seeing, and they certainly can't believe that. 17-7 now. Bermuda just 4 points away from wrapping up the match, and what will be an easy win for them. In the shade here at that's another point that has gone the way of the Bermudans. And really, Trinidad and Tobago being in danger here of being blown away in the second set. Error-strewn performance from the TNT youngsters. And another error here. And Bermuda with a rash of points there, 3 in a row. 18-7 now. Is that going to drop in? No, that's a well left there by Roberts. Just allowing that one to go to the right of her head and away for a point for Trinidad and Tobago. TNT haven't served for quite a while. They'll need to get some points here. Oh, that one just crept over the net, and that has put Bermuda on the hill here. Teams will change over, and Bermuda are just a point away now. It certainly has been a very comprehensive performance from the Bermuda team of Hamilton and Gazard. They've been well worth this victory here against a Trinidad and Tobago team that seemed to perhaps have been overawed by the occasion here today in front of one of the larger crowds that these two young ladies would have played in front of. They still have another game to go, and hopefully they will be able to pull things back. Bermuda looking for victory here. That's kept in, and that's into the net, and that is victory for Bermuda. They've won the second set 21-9, and they have run out winners by 2-0. Bermuda wrapping up victory 21-13, 21-9. Trinidad and Tobago overwhelmed here on the first day of the competition. So bit of an anti-climax for the crowd that have come out here.